When you quit, but you always wish that you knew it was your last shot.
Your last shot. Oh, Carol, I'm trying to cut down on my drinking. And Lou Reed's The Last Shot is one of my favorite songs. Lou Reed died this week. This show's dedicated to him tonight. He really is one of the genius icons of rock and roll. Carol, if you ask people, is David Bowie one of the genius icons of rock and roll? People would be like, oh yeah, David Bowie, one of the genius icons of rock and roll. And you know what? David Bowie would be impossible without Lou Reed. Impossible without Lou Reed and the Velvet Underground. Factoid. Complete, true factoid. The record I have, can we do this, Carol? Can we show this? Can we do this here? The CD collection, this is a 3 CD set that's pretty cheap on Amazon. It's called Lou Reed Legendary, right? The legendary Lou Reed. It's really good. It's really good. It collects all of his RCA work as a solo artist throughout the 70s, including his first album after leaving the Velvet Underground. What you need to be doing is sorting through all those albums yourself, and they're all available really cheap on Amazon, you know? They really are. If you want to buy the original vinyl, we gotta charge you $10, because at least, because he's hot. It's Lou Reed, you know? It's not even that he died. We were charging you $10 before he died for the albums. Most people probably charge you more. But the Lou Reed solo records, as you journey through them throughout the 70s and then into the early 80s, and The Last Shot was from 1983, Legendary Hearts, I think, which was one of his comeback albums when people realized, oh, Lou Reed's not dead yet? This was in 83, Carol. In 1982, Lou Reed put out this great album, okay, if you only know the Velvet Underground, I'm just gonna say this once. You ready, Carol? Here's the name of the album from 1982 that a lot of people consider Lou Reed's comeback album. It's called The Blue Mask. The Blue Mask. Very few people know The Blue Mask by Lou Reed. It's not the best rock and roll album ever, but it's really good. And it's a mature artist kind of who's kicked all the drugs. Seriously, he kicked the drugs at this point. Talking about love and honesty, a bisexual guy who's managed to kind of like accept that and move into relationships with women, and he's just really, it's just really solid stuff. The Blue Mask. That was from the one after The Blue Mask, Legendary Hearts, and it's just amazing music. I had another point, but I forgot it. You try it with a camera trained on you. That's all I gotta say, Carol. When they laugh at me for my airheadedness on camera, you try it, mofos. That's all I gotta say. All right, so of course, Lou Reed was bisexual, and there's a song called Kill Your Sons that he did, which is about, what is it about, Carol? It's about the time his parents, when he was 17, sent him to a psychiatric hospital and had them do electroshock therapy on him to cure his homosexual impulses. Lou Reed was given electroshock therapy as a 17-year-old to cure his homosexual impulses. Electroshock freaking therapy, right? He eventually married one of the greatest avant-garde artists of the 20th century, Laurie Anderson, right? Beautiful woman, just brilliant, intelligent, oddball musician, just brilliant woman. But his parents gave him electroshock therapy when he was 17 to cure him of his gay, or as we now know, bisexual impulses. He wrote about it in a song called Kill Your Sons. And so to honor Lou Reed, Carol, and for Halloween, how's that? Is that Nico enough? What does that look like? Come on, Carol, help me out. It looks like I should not be wearing a wig on TV. Yeah, well, you know, I didn't put foundation. And it's 5 o'clock, Carol. It's actually 8 o'clock. This is my 8 o'clock shadow. But, it's very Andy. Oh, it's very Andy Warhol. I could be in the factory. I'm just going to we're going to do the rest of the show. We got to talk about NC State and the sale of the Hoffman Forest with me in a wig because it's freaking Halloween. First Friday is this Friday, if you're watching the show. And Carol, some people can't watch the show. If you can see the show now, and people have been coming up to me in the grocery store. People have actually been coming up to me in the grocery store. One guy at work, one guy in the grocery store, and two guys at work, and a father at work, and then some other guy at work, and then a woman in the grocery store saying, I can't see your show anymore. Time Warner did some weird thing where, like, what are you doing? Oh. Yeah. Time Warner did some weird thing where if you have an old TV set and you're not using digital Time Warner, you can't see channels 10 or 11 anymore. Most people got no warning. Carol, they wrote something in your bill. You guys read those notes that Time Warner sends you in your bill, right? You guys do. You have no cause, no recourse if you don't, right? Is this working for you, Carol? Does Carol like my, Carol, I love the t-shirt you got me from Slovenia. Okay, this is the kind of people you're watching on television. Carol and her girlfriend went on vacation. And where did Carol and her girlfriend go on vacation? Slovenia. Look at that heart. Isn't that awesome? I love this shirt. The other one's even better, Carol. I love those colors, that light blue and white. That's beautiful. You'll see that next week, I'm sure. But so how was Slovenia? Gorgeous. See, this is where the Russians go for their vacation, right?
Yeah, Croatia.
Croatia. They went to Croatia and Slovenia. This is on the Baltic? On the Adriatic, which is an extension of the Mediterranean, right? Due east of Italy. Croatia has were the beaches as gorgeous as the pictures look?
Beautiful. Most crystal clear water.
Most crystal clear water, she says. Beautiful beaches. Croatia.
Some of ancient Roman ruins better than what they have in Italy.
Ancient Roman ruins better than what they have in Italy. Carol, put up Croatia. Go to Croatia. This is what my friend Carol and her girlfriend went to on their vacation. Carol, how did you find out about Croatia? And it's cheap, right? Croatia, she says, is reasonable. So you can go to Italy, just west of Croatia, or you can go to Croatia, which has the same ocean, the same beaches, right? The Adriatic Sea, and is beautiful and reasonably priced. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Plus, I got their cats while they were in Croatia. And Slovenia was even better than Croatia, you said, Carol.
They were
Equally interesting. All right, Slovenia, Croatia. So instead of taking your next vacation to Italy, Carol, one person out there, one wife is turning to her husband right now and saying, you know what? I have heard about Croatia. And we should go to Croatia instead of Italy. And then the husband will look online and be like, oh, Croatia is more reasonable than Italy. And Carol, you have changed some people's lives tonight. I just want to say that. All right. And Carol, you had a good experience with the customs people as a lesbian couple, right?
Yeah, they were very nice.
She says, Carol's girlfriend Jen was telling me that when they came back into the country, you know, they came in and the customs person said, oh, are you married?
Yeah.
Just like matter of fact. Oh, are you two women married? You know? And that's like the government employees are now accepting queer marriages as just like part of the job, man. Part of the job. Let me stamp your hands, you two lesbian women who are not married. With your passport.
Yes, because normally when you go up, if you're not related to each other, they only want you one at a time.
Oh, she says normally if you go up to the customs people, if you're not related to each other, they only want you one at a time.
So, but we walked up together.
But you walked up together.
We're not related, but
you need a microphone.
Together. They can hear me.
Yeah. Okay.
So I said, we travel together, but we're not related. Do you want us together or separate? And then that's when he said, do you live together? And we said, yes. And he said, are you married?
Oh.
No. But, okay, it's fine, stay together. And that's,
How normal is that? Said the guy in a wig. I mean, how normal is that? The customs official's like, do you live, are you tried together? Do you live together? Yeah, you married? No, but because we live in freaking North Carolina. That's why you're not married, right, Carol? Hawaii's Senate is voting on gay marriage tonight, Wednesday. Right now, you can live stream the Hawaii Senate debate. Carol, I say they're going to do it. Now, I don't know what the Hawaii House looks like, but I say they're going to do it. All right. Can we talk about you want to talk about, Carol, I'll give it up to you. You want to talk about the NSA lying to Congress again. You want to talk about the Hoffman Forrest sale from NC State and the sleazy tactics. Excuse me. It's the couscous and the onions. Carol, I made couscous last night. I tried making couscous that didn't come from a box with a spice pack. And Carol, you know what that taught me? I'm going to only make couscous from a box with a spice pack until I kind of sort out the details. I'm trying to be a better cook, but I haven't quite gotten the hang of like raw holy couscous, making it flavorful. I need to add more oils and more spices and things, but right now you just throw in that spice pack and boil it for 5 minutes. I'm happy. So Carol, or Obamacare, Carol, what do you want to talk about? Obamacare first. All right. First of all, the website is a disaster. We know this. Now, here's why. And I heard this in the first round of criticisms of the disastrous website, but it's kind of dropped off as the partisan back and forth has been happening. But here's what's really at issue here. In order to get the contract for these websites, right, to build these websites for the government, you have to jump through so many ridiculous hoops that the companies that do it are not smart IT companies. You with me? They're not smart computer companies. They're companies that are really smart at one thing. You ready, Carol? What's that one thing? Getting government contracts. I heard that in a radio article. Is that what? Is there such a thing as a radio article? I say yes. I say the nay. I say yes. I heard a radio article where, that sounds really stupid actually, a story. But you see, story doesn't have, language, English, tongues. I heard an article on the radio about how the process for getting these contracts is so convoluted and so time intensive and so money intensive that the only people who can get the contracts for things like, hey, build the Obamacare website, are companies that are locked in on the government teat. In other words, they understand the process, they have connections with Congress, and they can get the contracts. Whereas the smart, small, nimble IT companies that could actually do a good job don't have a chance because they don't understand the process as much. I heard that story early on, and it just resonated with me. It made so much sense that that's how we get into these situations, that the companies that will be best at this are these small, nimble, sharp, bam, we can do this efficiently companies, but they don't waste time spending, having brunches with congressmen and having, trips and and understanding the Byzantine network of paperwork that you need, right? And those companies that don't necessarily have the smartest IT people are the ones who get the contracts because they understand the get the contract system. Does that make sense, Carol? Totally. Carol says, totally. Okay. And Carol, whoops, I'm stepping on my microphone. Carol says, because I work for a web development company. we should give you that credibility, Carol. We should give Carol that credibility because she works for a web development company. So she understands how that works. So that's what's at issue here. Now, there's another issue here that the Republicans are dead right on, except their solution is worse. But the Republicans are right to harp on this. I heard yesterday on the radio that Obama's spokesperson, Jay Carney, who really, everybody, let's take a moment of silence for the guy who's the presidential spokesperson ever for any president who has to wake up in the morning and look at himself in the mirror as he shaves his 8 o'clock stubble, right? I feel really bad for those people, except then I realize that they're getting well paid to lie to everybody. And now I'm like, oh, I don't feel bad for you anymore. So Obama's spokesperson says, well, here's what's happening. In order to get the insurance companies on board with this new system, for people who don't have health insurance, this individual market, right? The individual market for people who don't have insurance through their jobs, which is such an idiotic move. The idea that you get health insurance through your job in a country where jobs are fluid and nobody has a lifelong career anymore, or very few people do, is insane. But that's what we've got, and the Republicans seem to like that. It's ridiculous that you get your health insurance through your job, which could end tomorrow. It's just ridiculous. But the people who actually have health insurance as an individual in the individual health insurance market are getting screwed over by Obamacare. Because when Obamacare was shoved through, barely, and Carol, Obamacare is better than anything the Republicans have to offer. Seriously, anything the Republicans have to offer is worse than Obamacare. That's a fact. They don't give a crap. Republicans, when did Republicans ever say, because you have a previous illness, you can't get health insurance, is wrong? When did Republicans ever say that? Carol, are Republicans even saying that now? No. So the fact that if you ever had a previous illness, you can't get insurance, health insurance, is something Republicans never touched. And now they're all screaming against Obamacare. But you know what? Obamacare says you can't be denied health insurance because you've had a previous illness. Fact. Undeniable fact. And the Republicans are not offering, they're offering vague promises to do something about that. But they have no alternative. And I'm telling you that anything the Republicans are offering as an alternative to Obamacare is worse. Although, Carol, can I say this? Will the liberals hate me? I hate freaking Obamacare. And here's why. The people who have insurance already, 5% of them are going to have to change their plans. Many of them are getting letters now that say your plan is over, we're going to have to end your plan. The Republicans are making great hay with this, right? They're making great hay with this. But the reason those 5% are having to change their plans is because of the power of the insurance companies in deciding what Obamacare was. See, if we had single-payer care, the insurance companies would have no say at all. The insurance companies are still having a strong say in what's going on. Oh, we got a call. Hold that thought. But remember, 5% of existing people with individual health plans are going to lose their health insurance or have to change their plans. That shouldn't have happened. They should have been grandfathered in. But they didn't get grandfathered in because of the power of the insurance companies. That's the problem with Obamacare. Hi, you're on the air. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Todd.
Karen, hey.
How you doing?
I'm a little stressed, but I'm wearing a wig.
So cute.
The wig helps. It calms me down.
Well, I'm gonna let you go out on a date with you.
Oh, really? Do you think? You seem to be the only one in Raleigh. You seem to be the only one in Raleigh.
Yeah, well, you so cute. But the reason I was calling Todd is because I was watching you about Lou Reed and despite his homosexual and bisexual, he was a great musician, and they don't make any singer like him anymore.
Wow, that's great, Karen. You're right. He was a great musician, and they don't make any singer like him anymore.
Me him, and he was wonderful.
Yeah, he was really a hero. He screwed up a lot, and he was kind of a jerk to people late in life. But you know what? If I was an icon, I'd be kind of a jerk to people. I'm a jerk to people anyway, without being an icon.
And we love you anyway.
Oh, well, thank you, Karen. That's really sweet.
Anyway, good luck. Happy Halloween.
Oh, I know. It's my Christmas. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. My goal in life, Karen, is to live as long as it takes for Halloween to overtake Christmas in American consumer spending. That's it. I will never commit suicide until that happens.
You know Todd, but you know we love you and y'all have a good one. And we will talk to you later, bud.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was Karen Stallings, who does a show on RTN about disability issues, and she's amazing. So I'm just gonna, Saturdays at 4 o'clock, I think is when the show comes on. But Karen Stallings, you should see her show. She's a fantastic presence in Raleigh. And hey, Kenny, you're not so bad yourself either. Okay, so the Obamacare thing. The people, Jay Carney, Obama's spokesperson, comes out today and is like, well, it's only, just so you know, it's not 95% of people who are losing their health insurance, because of Obamacare. It's 5%. And I'm sitting here thinking, up yours, Jay Carney, Obama's spokesperson, up yours. That 5% of people should have been grandfathered in so that their premiums did not go up because of Obamacare. Why didn't that happen? Because when Obamacare was being worked out, Obama was listening too much to the health insurance companies and their profits. And now that there have been so many problems at the front end with the website, and Carol, remind me to say I have a concern about that argument. The Democrats are now saying, well, let's extend the back end of the enrollment period. But that goes past like the quarterly fiscal report period, Carol, March 1st or something. And so the insurance company is like, no, we can't do that. That would mess with our quarterly earnings. It's like, up yours, insurance companies. That's not a good enough reason to not let ordinary people extend their sign-up period. But the insurance companies wield so much power. Obamacare is, in essence, doesn't go far enough towards socialized medicine. It doesn't go far enough. It's the Insurance Industry Protection Act. It guarantees a clientele for the insurance companies and doesn't remove them enough from considerations about how it should be implemented. We're seeing that now. The compromises Obama made to get Obamacare there, which again, Carol, I'm just saying this again, are better than anything the Republicans have ever come up with. The Republicans didn't give two poops. Are you ready? 2 poops. That's 2 poops. You see how quickly I did that, Carol? Republicans couldn't even give 2 poops about people being denied health insurance because of their pre-existing conditions. Not 2 poops until Obama came along. Factoid. Don't tell me the Republicans have a better answer here. Don't tell me the Republicans have a better answer here. They don't. But as liberals, as left-wingers, we have to recognize the idiocy of some of the compromises Obama made. We have to. All right. We're going to be back next week. Carol, I have 2, next week, the Stone Roses documentary is getting released, Wednesday, November 6th. The Colony has 2 tickets that they want us to give away. It's called the Stone Roses. What's the name of the documentary? I forgot. Anyway, it's at 7 and 9:30 p.m. next Wednesday, November 6th. All you got to do is tweet at me, right? Twitter.com/TMORMAN, and I'll give you 2 free passes to the Stone Roses documentary at the Colony next Wednesday, November 6th. Oh, we got 25 seconds left? Well, shoot, I actually looked up the Stone Roses documentary on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 80% of people want to see it. You know, so those are good numbers. I used to love the Stone Roses. So 10. Oh man, we haven't even talked about the NSA hacking Google and Yahoo's backbone.